Well, we've reached the end of our journey. This is the place to explore the future of Bang & Olufsen's design. So please come and join me to meet Noto Design, the Cologne-based design agency who provide the inspiration for Bang & Olufsen's flagship loudspeakers, and who I believe hold the key to the future of B&O's speaker design.
So, Stefan, did you have any challenges on the design of Be a Sound Theatre?
Yes, so similar to a lot of the products and the projects we did with B&O, there were challenges, and there were a lot of these, especially if you think about a soundbar that should exceed the performance of all other soundbars on the market, and that needs to fit into a lot of different setups at home. So the main challenge we had here was to create a product that on the one hand fits into the stage portfolio, fits to the other designs that we created for B&O, but on the other hand also fits to these different setups. So it needs to be fitted to different sizes of TVs, different ways of setups, so hung on the wall, placed on a shelf stand, placed on a floor stand. These were mainly the drivers for that.
And how does the collaboration with B&O's team work in practice?
So the collaboration with B&O is always we sometimes say friendly fight, but it's more of challenging each other with ideas and with solutions, and especially with the theatre being so framed by the setup and by the way the end customer would use the product. We needed to collaborate closely with the engineering team. In this case, not only the acoustic team, that is often the case with the other products, of course, but also the engineering team who will connect the soundbar to the TV, make sure it's decoupled, make sure everything fits in nicely, and everything is kind of set up for future use and for the years to come.
And how do you balance the design with the technical limitations? This view of engineering and design sometimes colliding in a way in a design project is kind of the opposite of how we work. So our approach is always that we only can make great products if we work together and if we respect the restrictions and the goals of the other participants in the team. And so I would say with B&O that's an extremely special case, because we can spark new ideas with each other and see these technical restrictions, always as chances to try something new. So Bang & Olufsen's got some really special capabilities in terms of what they can do with aluminium. Does that give you any extra opportunity in what you can do when you design products for them? That's a good question. I would say that's one of the special balances we have to have and have to keep within the projects, because B&O has that heritage of aluminum production, of wood in their products, and these are all crafts that are not easy to master. So we need to think about one of these implementations in each of our products without creating something that is too far out. It still needs to be feasible and producible to be a real product, but there needs to be that little twist of creating that kind of product. And with a lot of these products, you can see and you can feel that there was put a lot of effort into the material, into the craftsmanship, and we often can come back to the Factory 5 and use their experience in using aluminum to the highest level. So André, what were the challenges with BLAB 50 and how did you get around those?
Yes, so BLAB 50 in comparison to BLAB Theatre is much bigger. So we had to deal with bigger parts at all, and also we had to make efficient use out of aluminum. And imagine you can start with a sheet metal, and form it in a shape like this. then you get a rich aluminum part. You get an aluminum part for a rather efficient piece of aluminum. And then, as I said before, I think what we need to do is we need to trick the eye. So we need to hide the volume. And when you look at the finished part, you know, you wouldn't say that this is same size. Yeah. So it's in the end what we do then by creating shape and defining the design, defining the curve, that we reduce the volume by tricking the eye. And what's also important when we work with aluminum parts, which are from solid material, is that we show the edges and we show the corners so that you can really feel the value of material from every angle.
So are there any challenges in terms of the metalwork and the finishing on the speakers?
Yeah, we always create these kind of challenges in every design, but we are happy to work with Factory 5, who's always able to solve these kind of issues. For example, you won't realize that this piece down here is made from a sheet metal, and this piece up here is made from a profile. And this means you have to work with different alloys, which means if you start to anodize these different alloys, they will have different colors. So what the challenge in every product where you mix alloys is to get one homogeneous color in the end, and yeah, that's what they are able to do.
So what's common between the loudspeakers and audio system design? How do they fit together?
I think the most important thing there is our approach, how we in general think about products. Because we at Noto, we understand all the products we do as experiences. So that means before we start sketching a product, defining shape, color, material, we want to define what happens between user and product.
And I see you have a Beer Master 1900 here from the 1970s. Has that influenced you at all in terms of Bang & Olufsen's history and legacy?
Of course, when you work for a brand like B&O, you have to consider the heritage. You have to consider what has been before. And yes, this Beer Master concept influenced our work for the BO Sound moment, because what Jakob Jensen did here is that he created two levels of interface. So we have the full interface, the deep dive interface under the hood, which closes super smoothly with a nice hinge. And then what's left is a furniture like a reduced interface on the first level. And that's the same thing we did here, you know. We have the furniture level here. This is what people want to see every day, and they have play pause, they have volume up, down, they can skip a track, they can even add it to their pattern play. And if they want to deep dive in the interface, then they turn the tablet element around and have the full interactive interface here. And what we also did is that even the digital interface on BO Sound Moment doesn't show up any settings. So it's made for listening. So it's not like a classic tablet or a mobile phone. So it's concentrating on music. And if you want to go to settings, for example, you have to take off the lid, because that's when you need settings, when you want to connect new cables, all that.
And you've also worked on the Essence Remote as well, which is quite a unique product.
Yes, and then you could also say, well, what these two have in common is that we see in this circular movement, we see something like a core icon for music, for enjoying music, and it was extremely important that this movement on BO Sound Essence is is a smooth, rich experience for the user.
Yeah, speaking about experiences and also the other products we design, so we always have that approach of creating not only different levels of interaction, but different levels of approaching these products. So all of the designs we made for B&O have that 20-foot reach, so that you can recognize them even from afar or within a room, that you can directly see that this is something special, and you would see the silhouette of the product as iconic as the idea was, or the first sketch. So you can even see that with the Essence, having a clear geometric graphic that you can recognize from far away. And then there's a second layer, getting closer to the products and noticing all these details that are made to the highest level. So working on the aluminum, milling and forming and polishing, anodizing it to a level that you can enjoy it when you get closer to the product. And the third level is basically the interaction. So touching the material and recognizing that it's a natural material like wood, or like a real and cold feel like the aluminum has it. And what André said is that smooth interaction and that magical surprise that you have when you touch the products and interact with them.
So we're now in a situation where you could create an entire home cinema experience using just Noto's staged products for B&O. Could you give me the characteristics, please, of the Noto products and the Noto era of design for B&O?
I would say there are probably three main characteristics describing what we are doing here. So the first thing is translating B&O cues, B&O tradition, B&O heritage in a contemporary, approachable form. The second one might be that our speakers are described by more flexibility, and there are more 360-degree devices than classic front and rear products, which comes of course with the inventing this whole new sound philosophy, which was introduced with Billet 90. And last but not least, I would say it's all about harmony. It's harmony in every product itself, by creating a certain lightness, by reducing the impact in the room. It's harmony when you look at the products as a family, which makes them easy to combine. And it's also harmony for every living condition you can imagine.
So what next? What does the future hold?
Yeah, you have to understand that I can't tell you what's next, but I can promise that it will be exciting. And so that's everything I can do now.
Thank you, André, and thank you to Stefan.